I released a video talking about the most popular killers picked in Japan versus the rest of the world. Now I want to do the same for survivors, and for survivors it paints a different picture, because survivors all have the same gameplay. So looking at the pick rates, it will tell us who players want to be when they're escaping. Fang Min has a pick rate of 8%. She is a gamer, literally a professional esport player in her backstory. And that resonates perfectly with the Japanese tech-savvy, competitive and pop culture heavy gaming scene. She embodies the archetype of the cool, skilled, stylish player. And you can also see that in her cosmetics actually. With her cosmetics featuring neon hair and streetwear aesthetics that blend well with this Japanese love for customization and also expression through different fashion styles. Japanese players value heavily these things in character design. Fang is also associated with high-skilled gameplay. It is a common trope in the community, and therefore she is the #1 in Japan. Claudette Morel is taking the second space and is sharing also the 8%, but she has a very different appeal. Claudette was always popular thanks to her ability to blend in and also her perk self-care. So Claudette is the ultimate stealthy, self-sufficient survivor that can also be paired with botany knowledge to, well, fasten up the process. Her self-healing skills fit the Japanese preference for calm survival rather than all this flashy, risk-taking chases. It is argued that because in Dead by Daylight the communication is quite limited, that the self-reliance becomes the winning strategy. And Claudette represents exactly that. She has the right perks, she blends in, well, #2 she is. Sable is the third with another 8%. She's a new, charismatic character and visually distinct. And these are all key factors for Japan's quick adoption of this stylish newcomer. Japanese Dead by Daylight players have a strong attachment to novelty and aesthetics, and the presentation and cosmetics and voice lines and animations matter to them. So Sable's design is modern, cool-toned and very expressive. And it fits neatly into this Japanese broader media culture of youth rebellion and also visual storytelling. So especially with the younger audience, she is very popular. Nia Carlson is at the 4th place with 6% and also continues the same theme. She is this urban artist. She has this cool skater look. She's expressive and visually very bold. And in Japan, Nia's cosmetics are constantly top sellers. The people feel connected with her, and she is #4. Matt Thomas also has 6%. First of all, see that all the top 5 characters are female. And in addition, all these survivors that I have already mentioned are basically basic survivors, with the exception of Sable. So what happens with the last 3 female character? Well, she gets into the top 5, and that's, I think, the reason why she's there. So now let's zoom out and go from Japan into the global stage and look there, where the #1 spot is Sable, and she also leads there with 8%. Who would have guessed? The reasons are actually the same as in Japan, but also globally, Dead by Daylight thrives on these news. TikTok clips, thumbnails, content creators, they all drive attention to Sable and her looks. And, well, she's just like this cinematic character. She is social media ready, she is popular, and that's it. End of story. Fang Min follows at 7%. She has been a fan favorite since the early days because she embodies the modern player herself. A character built for both identity and also performance. But even more popular is she because of her bright cosmetics and iconic design. In the worldwide community, there is more of a saying that good players are also picking Fang. And I think that this stereotype that good players play Fang also pushes her to a #2 spot. Meg Thomas sits at 6%. She is like the safe pick, I would say, which makes her the default survivor of Dead by Daylight. So I think just people identify with her and also find her cool, and then they just stick with her. On the 4th place we have Kate Danson, also sitting at 6%, and she brings something unique to the world top 5. I would say she has kind of like this country rock aesthetic, and she feels warm, she feels optimistic, and this just makes her like a fan favorite, especially in North America, but also in Europe. She's also featured in multiple cosmetics, keeping her relevant also long after her initial release. Finally, number 5, Nia Carlson at 5%. She is the global embodiment of individualism, not only for the Japanese people, but also worldwide. Across the world, Nia has this rebellious character, this feeling for freedom, the self-expressive archetype that online audiences oftentimes just love. Nia also has a stereotype to be a toxic survivor, and this feeds into some people's power feeling on the survivor side when they want to be like bully squads or something like that. And well, that is it. There are certain differences in popularity of the characters because a golf baddie gets rated differently in society. I also want to say that these characters all have a lot of cosmetics for a good reason, as it seems. It is a bit of a self-fueling machine in the sense that they are popular because they have many cosmetics, because they are popular, but well, this is behaviors, hands that are at play. You can also see that there's a clear tendency in the whole of the community to actually play female survivors. I think it also has to do with the customization and just that these female survivors are good looking and cool, so that also plays into it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't seen the killer edition that I have released, click somewhere here, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.